right, Team Bling Boss. I'm going to give you a minute, let you get on in here. Wait for your beautiful leader, Courtney. I know, so exciting. What's today, Thursday? Hi, Courtney, what's up, girl? It is Thursday. It is like, I can't believe, like the days fly by, right? They fly by. It's amazing, but woo! When you work paparazzi full-time, the days go like this. I wish there were, twice the amount of hours in the day. So, Courtney, I'll just hang for just a minute so that your team has a chance to get on here. When I popped on your page, I was like, woo, look at all these team members. I was like, girl, that is awesome. So excited. So excited. Yes, hello. You give me the go-ahead. I know sometimes it's best to just give it just a minute or two here at the beginning. And then we will jump on in and do this thing. Share all the knowledge. All the info. I see some familiar people coming in that I recognize. Hello, hello. How's everybody? So whenever, Courtney, you want me to jump in, hi, Renee, you just let me know. Hi, Lauren, how are you? Brandy, what's up, girl? See some people coming in. Hello, Paula. So whenever your beautiful leader says go for it, we will go for it. So I know we like to sometimes give just a few minutes. Let people, get themselves in here, get settled. I was live forever last night, and I walked into my bling room and I was like, oh no, there were no little like secret elves or fairies that cleaned this for me during the night. Does that happen to you? You go live, you're like, oh, my room is nice and neat, and then after the live, it's like, what happened in here? All good, all good. Good problems to have, right? Hi, Lacey. Hi, Heather. Hey, Christy. What's up? What's up? Rachel, how are you? All right, we'll be up forever. I love that. Hi, Melissa. All right, so I'm going to jump on in here, because I do value your time, and I appreciate that you are taking time with me on this Thursday, to hang out. And I'm going to introduce myself. I do have a little touch of a cough left, a little itty bitty. Thanks, Christy. Yeah, we hung out till the wee hours, didn't we? If you don't know me, hi, my name's Heidi Bound. And like you, I am an independent consultant, of course. The beautiful Courtney invited me here because, yeah, I guess she thinks I have a whole lot of great things to share with you. So Courtney, I can't thank you enough. You're a beautiful soul, and I'm absolutely so lucky and blessed that we're getting to know each other. So hopefully I share lots of good things that your team can walk away with. I was a teacher for 23 years, so I'm going to come at you kind of as a teacher in the sense that I want you to walk away with some good knowledge and some good learning. So if you did not grab a notebook, please grab a notebook, because hopefully I have some information for you that you could write down and then use in your own business. That's the goal, right? The other piece to put out there is that I keep it very real. I'm not a sugarcoating kind of gal. I do live in New York City, so I am a New Yorker, and we just say it. We're pretty blunt. So I'll just keep things very real for you. And the other part is I taught special education for 23 years, and so I'm very used to being interrupted with questions. I'm not used to silence. So please know that throughout this, if you have something that pops up into your mind, and let's just put these on because, let's be real. If you have something that pops into your mind, please ask me. You don't need to wait. Don't worry about like messing up my flow. I'm very used to that. And if it doesn't fit in exactly with what I'm talking about, I will jot it down because it might be something that you're thinking about that I'm eventually going to get to. Okay, so yep, Heidi Bound, and let me just give you a little taste of my paparazzi resume so you know where I'm coming from today. First off, I started with paparazzi. Hello, everybody. I started with paparazzi beginning of July 2017, and probably have a similar story to many of you as to why I started. Let's make a few extra bucks, right? What is this thing? I saw one of my coworkers, and hi everybody. She was selling paparazzi, and as a girl who loves style and fashion, I was like, that jewelry is super cute, and it's $5. But again, I'm a jaded New Yorker, so I'm like, $5. Please, what is that mess she must be selling over there? Until I took a closer look and realized that not only was the jewelry, of course, affordable, but very stylish. So I watched her for a while. I became one of her best customers, right? A lot of us do that. And then it was on 4th of July in 2017, and I sat with my husband Marty at a cute little cafe here in New York City where we live. We live in Manhattan. And I was telling him about paparazzi, and he was like, listen, do it. He's supportive of everything, which is such a gift. But he's like, said, do it. Worst thing that could happen is you get a box of jewelry. You love jewelry. Your sisters love it. Your mom. He's like, give it to people if it doesn't work out. Sorry, that's him. He's traveling from Pennsylvania today. Let me just remind him that I'm training you people. You lovely peeps. So it was one of those things where it was like, maybe a few extra bucks would pay off some credit cards, your typical stuff. Plus, living in New York City, I'm sure you've seen, if you're not familiar, like price of rent, all of those things. It's not a cheap place to live. And even after teaching for 23 years, like there were months that were hard. Sounds like your story. Yeah, there were months that were hard. So I thought, you know what, a little extra income never hurt anybody. I was with another direct sales company for about 10 years prior to Paparazzi. The company was very, very different. The biggest part that was really different was that unlike Paparazzi, this other company was a company where if you weren't somebody that was into the products, I had to like kind of psychologically convince you that you needed what I had to offer, right? That's a whole different kind of sales that's hard. And I say unlike Paparazzi because we have a product that people they want it, right? They want it. So I was with that company, and my takeaways from that were basically two big things. One, I did a lot of teaching on Ustream. Remember Ustream? So I had a camera presence that I was totally like comfortable with. I love being on camera. I'm not one of those people that gets nervous. As a teacher, you want somebody to be the MC of the parents' night. Give me the mic. I was that girl. So that was a huge takeaway, is that I was already super comfortable on camera because I was teaching on camera with the products from this company. And the other takeaway was that no matter what direct sales company you're in, good sales training carries over, right? So those were the big things. Did my customers come with me? No, actually they didn't. And most of that was because the company that I was with, people were creating and making their own jewelry. So they didn't follow me to Paparazzi, and that's okay because my takeaways were something that I think were even bigger, right? So very, boom, 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 we moved through this thing, and about a year ago, little more than a year ago, I realized that Paparazzi was something I could do full time. And as a teacher, I always loved my students. I taught Center City, New York City, hard neighborhoods, drugs on the street. Sorry, I have two Pomeranians that get very antsy when my husband's not here, so I apologize in advance. And one of them's almost 15, so I always say, that dog wants to bark, you just bark, honey. Oh, that's a great question, and I'll talk about that, Wendy. I will. So I was teaching in neighborhoods where there were gangs on the street. I was in the South Bronx. I was in Harlem. I was teaching in really hard neighborhoods, shootings at 2:30 in the afternoon. Like, we're not talking like Butterfly and Glitter. But I loved it. I loved that energy. What I didn't love, sorry, he'll probably not stop, which is really, I apologize. Hunter? That usually never works. And it didn't. But the part, hi Jessica, that I didn't like was the educational system, okay? Let him bark. Yep, you want to bark? You're very loud. And he looks at me like, what? Look how cute I am. I didn't agree with the educational system. I was teaching special ed. I was teaching a lot of kids that literally just got here from their country. In most cases, Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, their families were brand new, fresh in the country and not speaking English. And in a short amount of time, I had to give you a standardized test in reading that you had to pass. It just didn't sit right with me. I started 23 years ago. Hi, Judy. Hi, everybody. I started 23 years ago when kids were getting, soil on their hands, paint on their faces, and getting in trouble because they went home with their clothes dirty, right? So I was looking for a way out. So it was a little over a year ago that I realized, like, whoa, this thing, we're making money. Do you have a surefire full place way to recruit? Foolproof? Haha! No, I wish, but we will talk about recruiting, so just hang tight on that one. And realize it's a very long, much longer story for another time. I tell it in my opportunity videos, but when I realized that I could do this full time, my goal was to retire from teaching by the end of June 2018. No sooner, because if I retired sooner, then I'd be walking away from my students, which was, in my opinion, very hypocritical of me. But I couldn't, it had to be the end of June 2018. Otherwise, it would be another full school year before I could retire again, because walking away from a bunch of kids mid-year is not what I'm about. So he's wagging his tail, barking. Can't. So I set forth on this goal of retiring. Now, I give you all of that information because my paparazzi resume, which is quite dreamy, to be honest, all of the things happened while I was teaching full time. So somebody asked about managing my time. We'll talk about that. All of the things happened while I know he wants the attention, he wants to be on my lap. Actually, he probably doesn't want to be on my lap. While I was teaching full time. So I want you to hear that. I want you to understand that not only was I was teaching special education 4th and 5th graders. They could be tough cookies, right? That age gets a little tough, especially in the center city. In a tough neighborhood, teaching special ed, like you name it, I was in it. And realized, sorry, I may have to get up and just close the door on him. Otherwise, it's going to be distracting the whole time. As soon as I open my mouth. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me just close the door, because otherwise we're going to hear this the whole time. And it may not be distracting to you, but it is to me. All right. And that almost 15-year-old pup will push himself in here. All right. Sorry, Courtney. Yep, pushed himself right in. He's in already. Stop it. So my focus was retiring from teaching at the end of June. So people say to me, how did you get the necklace? Because this is the Heidi, and it is named after me. And as you know, like Rock the Runway right now is in the heart and the heat of it, right? Like people are watching the leaderboard, all of the things, right? Every time. So thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. How'd you get your necklace? What'd you do? I've been getting asked that question. I get asked that question every single day, especially since Rock the Runway is like hot right now, right? How'd you get your necklace? What'd you do? What's the secret? There is no secret. There is no glitter, magic dust, and fairies that come down and hand you a Z necklace. Okay? And That is right, Lauren. And that's actually a shower curtain. Keep it real. My husband stretched it out. There are cute little thumbtacks on it. And even Trent Kirby messaged me after a live one time and was like, your view is, and I was like, Trent's probably like, wow, we're paying her a lot for that. It's a shower curtain. You got to get creative, right? That's my brand. New York City is part of my brand. There it is. So there is no secret. There is no glitter. There's no unicorn that comes in here and makes it happen for you. As a matter of fact, I was so new in the company that I did work my butt off. There you go. Thank you, Jessica. I was so new in the company that Rock the Runway started in February of last year, and I was in first, second, first. I was all over. I don't remember. I'm not that. I don't remember like when I hit certain ranks. I'm not that girl. It doesn't stick in my brain. And Michelle Johnny, who's part of my up line, she messaged me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna get a necklace this year. This is gonna." And I was like, "What are you even talking about? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about." She's like, "Oh, Rock the Runway, but you're in, I forget, whatever place, and you're gonna." And I was like, "Michelle, I don't even know what that is." So it was never even something on my radar because I was so new in the company that it really meant nothing to me. I knew we had Z pieces and I would sell them, but this idea of working for, like, I didn't even know what it meant. So as time went on, I guess that first month, you know, Michelle's talking to me, Julia Willingham, who's also in my upline, they're like, "Listen, this is a really big deal." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Okay." Again, not on my radar, not a goal. So February, top of the leaderboard, you know, I was never lower than, say, 5th, if I remember correctly, and I could be totally making that up, but I feel like that is the case. February didn't get the necklace. March didn't get the necklace, but I was working my business, just like regularly working my business, with this goal of retiring from teaching. That was my goal. Okay, so February, March. April, I said to myself, you know what? I don't know. This sounds like a big deal. People are going kind of crazy about this whole necklace thing. I have a shot. Whatever this means, I have a shot. I'd never been at a convention. I wasn't in the company long enough. I was in the company less than a year when all of these things were happening. So I said, February, March, April. Yeah, April was the month where I was like, you know what? Let me actually try this thing, this necklace thing that everybody's talking about. So I worked on recruiting like crazy and selling even more. And April, people were like, "It is yours. You've got this." In April, like the leaderboard, I don't remember the statistics, but it is yours. April, they made the phone calls and I didn't get the necklace. And I was actually crushed. Because I had put it on my radar and it didn't happen. And I was like, sad, like that people in my upline were calling me because they realized that it actually affected me the way it did. And I'm the kind of girl that, like, something happens like that, I believe you get to have your few minutes to have your temper tantrum, and then you either stay on the floor or you get up and you figure it out, right? I don't stay on the floor. Again, I'll have my moment, I'll sulk, whatever, you know, I believe you have the right to that, and then get it together, okay? So what I told myself was, the necklace was never my goal. Why is it now? It can't be. My goal was retiring from teaching. That's a huge goal, humongous. So I ran my business in May like it was nobody's business. We were selling, there were 2 breaks in the winter where I sold 2,000 pieces each week. Less than a year in the company, working full time. Okay, so May, I didn't even think about the necklace. I looked at the leaderboard, I took a peek, but that was it. And didn't get it. So June comes along and I decide that the last month of my teaching career, I'm going to also push to hit elite, because I was 1 rank away and I knew convention was coming. And according to my upline, you wanted to be elite by convention. I didn't know why, but I was like, okay. So in June of last year, June 12th, I got the phone call from Cassidy at at corporate, and my phone, it actually rang through. You know, sometimes you get calls from paparazzi and it goes right to your voicemail. It might be like a recording of somebody saying like, congratulations on life of the party or whatever. It was Cassidy, and she said, it was June 12th, and she said, I hope I'm not bothering you. I hope it's not too late. And I'm like, she said, I just want to tell you that you had the highest points in the entire Rock the Runway 4-month competition, and we are honoring you with a necklace. And I lost my mind because I never expected it. It was off my radar. That was June 12th. June 26th, I walked out of a New York City public school for the very last time. And June 28th, I hit elite. So all of that while I was teaching, all of that with the ultimate goal of retiring. So you've heard me say the word goal a million times. I'm going to tell you what I did to achieve those things. I also went to convention, and just like your sweet leader, Courtney, I stood on that stage as one of the first 7 Black Diamond consultants in the company. Went there as Diamond. I'm sure like Courtney, that whole Black Diamond thing blew us away. I also went to convention as Crown Club 25. So the Z necklace, Black Diamond, Elite, and Crown Club 25 in less than a year. And my story is much more in depth, but we're not here for just that, right? Hopefully that part of it inspires you enough. And I want you to think about, people say things like, oh, well, I want to hit producer. Okay, well, that's great. By when and how are you going to do it? Okay. Yeah, Wendy, that's just it. By when and how are you going to do it? Oh, Jessica, you're so sweet. Thank you. I keep it real. I never in a million years imagined that I would be on the stage 5 times at convention. Rock the Runway, Diamond, Black Diamond, Elite, and Crown Club. Never in a million years. And nor did I know what any of it truly meant until I got there. So now your question is, right? How'd you do it? How'd you do it? I truly believe goal setting is paramount. Did I have goals that were paparazzi focused at first? No, I didn't. Now I do. Now I do, because my why I do things is different because I'm doing it full time. But back then, my why, my goal, my focus was to retire. What's yours? Ask yourself, why are you doing this, right? Why are you doing paparazzi? If it's to throw a few extra bucks into your bank account once a month, well, then you're going to look at things much differently. And some of the things I'm about to say won't even apply to you. Okay? Yeah, recruiting is huge. We're going to talk about that. If your why is, you know what, I can't stand my 9 to 5, that's a different kind of a goal. You're like, I want to leave. By when and what will you do to get there, right? So I am a huge, and Courtney, if there's anything like, as I mentioned, that pops up, like feel free to, ask me specific questions. I am a huge advocate, believer, pusher, you want to use whatever words you want to use, of going live. Okay? Somebody asked about how did I manage my time while I was teaching. I didn't give myself a choice because I knew what my goal was. I was going live religiously the same days. I think it was Wednesday and Sunday back then, twice a week for at least 3 hours. I was on at 7 o'clock and went till about 10 because I had to get up the next day at 5:30. I was shipping, I was invoicing, I would come home and do paparazzi like it was a second full-time job. Very lucky to have a husband. My husband's a freelance musician here in New York City. He plays with, Bruce Springsteen. He plays trumpet on Aladdin. Like he has that freelance lifestyle, right? There you go. So Candy, then your why needs to drive your goals. It can't just be, boy, I hope this happens someday, right? When do you want it to happen? Because when you want it to happen and you put a timeline on yourself, you put yourself in check on those nights when you're like, ugh, I don't feel like going live. Wait a minute, no, by the end of July, I want to buy this new house, right? So I was going live religiously, and I sold out. I mean, back when I started, I sold out of the biggest kit in 2 live shows. I just have a knack for people. My mom always said, you should have worked on QVC. Like for years, she said that. The lives were my way to not only sell the jewelry, but to connect with my customers, because I feel like that is what this is about. I have, that's right. I'm reading your comments. I have a gal, just one example. You don't realize the impact you can have on people. I'm learning that more and more every single day. There is a woman that watches my show, and she's been watching, and just recently, her young son in his 30s was killed, I believe in a car accident. I don't have all the details. But she does not always come to my show to buy jewelry. She has messaged me countless times to say, listen, your show, my show, is my escape from this grief that I can't put into words. She's like, for a few hours at night, I don't have to think about it because you're making me laugh. You're showing me cute stuff. So I think that it's important to keep in mind that you're not just on there showing cute jewelry. You have the opportunity to impact people. That's how I got more people to watch my lives. By keeping it real, by being a real human. I mean, my nephew helps me on my show behind the scenes, and sometimes he's just acting like, But it's real stuff, and my customers get it, right? Just want to see. The other thing that I did was early on, and I don't do it now, I don't need to, I was doing hostesses for every single show. So I'm not going to get into a whole lot of hostess training right now. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to simply say I'm not going to talk about hostesses and how to do it here, because I do have a hostess training on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in checking that out, just go to YouTube and search Heidi Bound. I have like 4 videos. I know people keep saying like, you should make more. Okay, I don't have time, but there is a hostess training video. It's probably about a year, maybe not even a year old, but there's some really good information there. So hostesses were a big thing for me. Consistent lives for more than 2 hours. If you are not going live for more than 2 hours, then you are not giving that opportunity for the ebb and the flow, right? So my numbers always spike well above 100 at the beginning of a show. Then they go down to about 60, 70. Why? Because mommy's putting Johnny in the tub, getting the kids ready for bed, right? There you go, Candy. I love that. So all those mommy, and I'm just saying, using that in general. I don't have kids, so for me it might be getting a shower and throwing on my pajamas and making a cup of cocoa, whatever. If you're not going live long enough, then you're not giving enough time for that ebb and that flow, because what happens about an hour later, my numbers spike again, because now Johnny's in bed and mommy just wants to sit with a glass of wine and relax, right? At least twice a week. Courtney may tell you something different. You're going to hear different things from different leaders. I advise my team to do at least twice a week for starting out at 2 hours. My ultimate goal is for them to push to 3-hour shows. Okay, I am live now Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Sunday nights. I go on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I go on for the 4 hours until Facebook starts that countdown and says, like, you're done here. And then last night I went on for a round 2 because people were just loving what I was showing. So I was on about 7 hours last night, and I was showing some really limited quantity things. So, people were psyched about it, like things that I kind of found in the vault, right? But the biggest thing to increase your viewers is to get hostesses. So go watch that training. The other thing is keep it fun. Like, do your giveaway. Sometimes people get so like caught up on, I can't give things away. Why? That's what businesses do, right? Oh, you're so sweet. yeah, joke around, serious stuff. Like, it's not just saying like, I have these great cheetah earrings and there's black fringe. No, no. Would you watch QVC for any longer than 10 minutes if that's what they did, right? They keep it moving, action packed. So think about your giveaways. Think about, sometimes you have to eat a little money to make a bunch of money, right? Short-term solutions for long-term goals. I say that too about like customer service. Sometimes you're like, oh, really, that necklace broke? Short-term solutions for long-term goals. You have to be consistent with your lives. You have to keep them real. It has to look nice and neat. You need to look cute. You are selling style. You are selling jewelry. Do not go on there in your, dirty t-shirt and no bra. I mean, if you're not a makeup wearer, I put on my makeup. If you're not a makeup wearer, go buy some lip gloss and a little mascara, right? Just a little touch of something goes a long way, right? Nobody wants to see you looking a hot mess and then they're going to buy jewelry from you, right? That's right. Hostess rewards, right? What do you do for a hostess if you have some shows you don't sell? I'm gonna say this, Rachel. All of that in depth is on that hostess training video because it's a long response to that. So I'm gonna just say, go to YouTube, search Heidi Bound, and there's more information on that hostess training than I could give it to you than I can say right now. Okay, so. And I'm not trying to not answer that, but I don't want to go down the hostess road because my training on that is very in depth. So please, go check it out. Grab a notebook, check it out. And I touch on that, and I touch on like how to set things up properly. So go give it a look. You have to look cute. I'm assuming that's what Courtney's referring to. Okay. You have to look cute. You all have your own style. I've got an edgy New York style. My shirt says it's a New York thing. I wish it wouldn't put things in reverse, but it does on Facebook. That's my vibe. My vibe is New York City. My vibe is edgy. That's my vibe, okay? That doesn't mean that I'm not showing wooden necklaces and some other things that maybe aren't my style. I'm going to show them and I'm going to talk about them. Comb your hair, wear the jewelry, throw on some lip gloss. Like some people are like, you can't tell me to do that. Listen, here's what I did when I was learning how to, I had, Natalie Hadley was one of the gals that I watched and I still do. And now she's a dear friend. I sat and watched QVC. You cannot go on there looking a mess. You cannot go on looking a mess. Do I go on to my team looking like this? Not usually. They usually get me, with the hair pulled up, no makeup, My team doesn't care. I'm not trying to sell them anything. They just need authentic me. They don't care about the rest of that stuff. Okay? They just want to hear what's coming out of my mouth. My customers, if somebody's scrolling through Facebook and they're looking to just chill out with a glass of wine and watch somebody, they're more likely going to stop on my show when I have my act pulled together than somebody's show where you're there looking like a mess. Sit down with a notebook and watch QVC. Watch QVC, not to buy. Even more specifically, watch QVC's jewelry shows. I did for countless hours when I started. Taking notes. What kind of things do they say about the jewelry? How do they look on camera? Okay? How do they look? Stylish, pulled together. They all have their own style. Some of their style might be a little bit more sort of like a roughly vintagey look. All of those hostesses have their own vibe. They're all selling the same stuff. But if I went on QVC and saw somebody with no bra, the hair looking a hot mess, not wearing the product, I'd be like, what? You need to have a business mentality, okay? So being live and being consistent, that's just the beginning. What you're putting onto that screen, that's the part that gets people to come back, right? They need authentic you, but they don't need messy you. There's a difference. And you could be like, some of you are probably rolling your eyes at me, sucking your teeth. It's fine. But look at the people in this company who are your top leaders. Look at them. Visually look at them. We all have our own style, okay? I can bet and guarantee that Courtney Kavaka does not go onto a live with her customers looking a hot mess. Okay? Please, you're representing the brand. You're representing yourself. Okay? There are times where Marty says to me, is that Misty Kirby approved? Like, it's sort of a joke because Misty always looks so pulled together and polished, right? I mean, even in DR in a bathing suit, she had the cutest cover up. Like, what are you representing? Absolutely looking professional, pulling it together. Is your background neat and tidy, right? Is it neat and tidy? Like right now you're getting a little view of my bin. I usually have you pulled over here a little bit. But if somebody's scrolling Facebook, they might, if you're looking a hot mess, they may come in to watch you just for a minute to be like, how's she describing the jewelry? Okay. Look at your top leaders. Okay. Scroll through Facebook. Watch Courtney's live. She's pulled together. Mandy's pulled together. I'm pulled together. Natalie Hadley. Like, look at those of us who, look at your 7 black diamonds from last year, right? Look at those people. I can go on about this forever. But you need to look the part, look the brand, please. Okay? Don't have you look your nails. Some of you don't want to, I mean, I just started doing these like longer ones, whatever. I don't know how long that's going to last, but don't look like you were just out gardening. Okay? Please trust and believe on these things. Okay? Trust and believe. Inventory is paramount. It is absolutely 1,000,000% just as important as going live. If you don't have the jewelry, okay, think about going into Target. Okay, business mindset. Are you a CEO or are you doing it as a hobby? Okay, if you're a CEO, I want you to think about Target. Okay, think about Target. When you go into Target, if there is there's a pair of shoes that you're like, I really need some black boots. You go into Target and they have everything but black boots, or they have them and they never have your size, or you're going in there because you want a new comforter and you have a king bed, but they never have the ones for king bed, right? For the king bed. You would not keep going there, right? You would not keep going there. So you need to have enough inventory to keep things moving and feeling fresh and feeling different. Those of us who are Black Diamond, we are buying and we are selling, right? I have people tell me all the time, Heidi, I watch your show because you have different things than what I see other people have. Well, yeah, because I'll put things away and pull them out months later. Months later. I don't show it all right away, right? Now I'm showing something like this right away because everybody wants them. But I might show something else, like a pair of, hoops or something, and I might put them away for a while, and then it comes out again and it's fresh. If you don't have enough inventory, you're not able to do that. Let me give you a little tip that someone, Ty Parkin actually gave me this tip. Because I said to him one time, pretty recently, I said, where's the fine line? Where does this buying inventory thing, become crazy versus not having enough, right? Because I don't need a stockpile. I run my business out of a space that is 10 by 12 feet. It's a New York City bedroom. I'm not in a warehouse. I don't have a garage. There's no basement. There's no attic. It is a small New York City bedroom, and I run my business about 10,000 pieces a month out of this space, okay? So where does it get cuckoo as far as inventory, okay? He said to me, and you can write this down, okay? Write this down. Let's say, for example, you sell 500 pieces this week, okay? 500 pieces this week. Next week, you should be replacing those 500. If you go over 500, you're now cutting into your profit, okay? I don't need to replace 2,000 pieces the next week. Now, if there's a blessed bracelet or a mermaid, you can bet and guarantee I'm going to be buying what I need to buy, right? But what I was doing for a while is if I sold 1,000 pieces that week, the next week, 1,000 divided by 5 is 200. I would purchase 200 pieces that next week each day, okay? Because you don't want to be inventory heavy either. There's a fine line, right? So if you are saying, I'm going to buy 200 pieces a day to replace what I sold last week. Now you are continuing to build your inventory, but you are not cutting into your profit. Okay? Give me some hearts if you like that idea. If you decide to buy 250 pieces each day, now you've cut into your profit. Okay? There are days also you might be like, those pieces are like, they're okay. And you'll buy 150, right? Well, then the next day you could buy 250. So it's an average of 200 pieces a day. But you need to have that inventory. And here's another thing. Thank you, Candy. Another tip for you is this. People say, oh, I don't buy that because I'll never sell it. Oh, I don't buy those wooden necklaces. I'll never sell them. You'll sell them. It might not be right away. I don't buy inventory for one show. I buy inventory so that it is something like these earrings. I'm not going to sell out of these in one show with what I bought. I'm not. These, I'm not. Okay, with what I bought. So I buy so that I have inventory for several shows. I also have a booming business page. Okay. I would pack some away. I would also, Jessica, I would also make sets, right? So when you're shopping, make sets. But think strategically about your inventory, but you cannot sell it if you don't have it. Okay, write that down. You cannot sell it if you don't have it. My other quote is that with that one, you cannot sell it if you don't have it. Write that one down. And the other, I completely lost my thought. Let me touch on this piece. There's like 3 things running through my head at the same time. So how to buy, oh, I know what it was. My other quote is, don't think about the sales that you got, think about the sales that you missed. What I mean by that is if I have only 5 of this ring and I show it and I sell all 5, like, yay, go me, right? But if I had 10 more people that wanted this, I missed out on those sales, and I missed out, those people may go to someone else. If customers come to your show and they're constantly not able to get pieces that they want because you don't have enough, they're going to go shop with Courtney. Or they're going to come shop with me because my reputation is that I always have enough for people. Now, a mermaid bracelet, maybe not the case, right? But don't think about the sales you got. Think about the sales you missed. Grab a notebook during your live. If you could have sold 20 more navy blue earrings, then you need to remember when new releases come out that you need to buy more navy blue and more acrylic. Does that make sense? So how do you buy? How do you buy? My goal now, my lens has changed over time. I used to look at the new releases and say, okay, well, if I can't justify buying at least 5 of them, then I'm not buying that one. That's me. Some people might buy 1 or 2 of something. I don't see a need for that. I don't have the time to be showing 1 or 2 of something. It used to be if I could justify buying 10 or more, I would buy that piece, right? You know what your sellers are. You know what people like that buy from you. Take notes if you don't. Write it down during your show. Keep track of who liked what. Like, keep track of how much you could have sold. Now my guideline is if I can't buy at least 20 of it, and even that is like, then I'm not interested in that particular piece, right? So you need to have your own parameters about buying so that you're not just frivolously throwing money down, right? Very tight budget. Do you suggest buying in multiples versus variety? I am a big advocate of multiples, and the reason that I say that, Lacey, is because time is money. So if I'm on and I'm showing a ring and I'm doing 1 piece at a time, especially this idea, right? If you are showing only 1 of something and you had 5 people that wanted it, you're losing money, you're losing potential customers. They're going to go somewhere else, okay? I suggest buying multiples and pairing it up with things that you have and selling only the sets first. If I have a limited set, I don't know, let's say these match. They really don't, but let's say these match and I have 3 of these left and 3 of these. This might be number 197, and if you comment 197, you're getting both of these. I don't split up the set right away, and my customers know if I want that, I better grab it. And I'll say, if you already have those earrings, but you're dying for the necklace, then you're going to have a second pair of earrings and you can give them away to somebody. Random act of kindness, people. They'll go somewhere else to find it. Yes. Christmas, they will sell. 4th of July, red will sell. Memorial Day, red will sell. Every day, red will sell. So I want you to be thinking strategically about your inventory. If you don't have it, you can't sell it, okay? I organize into IKEA bins. I mean, my bling room right now is a hot mess because we pushed for Fashionista last month and we hit it. So my bling room kind of took a hit because I wasn't as organized because I was walking past the mess to go crunch numbers. But organize into IKEA bins. That's just one little section, but people ask me all the time about organizing and I keep saying I should do a YouTube on it, but that's like fitting that into a million other things that are going on. But do you hear how everything comes back to this idea of goal setting? This idea of if you set a big enough goal but you take tiny little nibbles at it, great things can happen even when you're not planning on it, right? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was a huge, lots of work. My team is awesome. The Gotham gang is awesome. Recruiting. I am not a heavy recruiter when it comes to, I think they use the term cold contacts. I share the opportunity during my lives. I do opportunity lives to specifically share my story more in depth. It's amazing. There are different parts of your story that will touch people's hearts in different ways. I'm going to go back and I see a couple questions, so just give me a minute. Different parts of your story will touch different people in different ways. And you know what's interesting too? You never know who's watching you. Think about that for a minute. You never know who's watching you. I have some of my best team members that never clicked into the live. People can watch you without actually clicking it. So that number count, there could be more people watching than what it says because you don't actually have to click the video to be watching it. You just have to click the volume. You never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. Some of the best team members are a couple gals that they were just watching. And they were like, listen, we were just watching to see if you were the kind of leader that it seemed like you were. And they joined. I have 2 gals right now. They're like best friends, are in their 70s. They watched me from a distance and they're working this business together. And I'm like, the Lindas are going to be walking on the stage at convention. But you never know who's watching. Trying to send a million cut and paste messages to a random bunch of people on Facebook Messenger is so inauthentic. It is not going to get you anywhere. You may get lucky. You might get lucky. But when you keep it real and you share your story, people will want to join your team, right? My team is small. We're a fashionista team and I only have 280 people on my team. And you know darn well they're not all active. That's never the case, right? 280 people on my team. Courtney Kavaka's team blew me away when I came on here, Courtney, and saw how many people you have. 280 people, and we are a fashionista team. Quality over quantity, right? If people connect with you and your story, they connect with you as a human being, they're going to want to work just as hard as you, but differently, right? Because everybody's story is different. So sending out these cut and paste things or going on your Facebook page and putting a picture of the starter kit, nobody cares. They care about you and connecting with you and what will you do as a leader. Courtney's a doll, I'm sure. I don't know Courtney as a team leader, but I know Courtney as a leader in the business, and I know Courtney as a top ranking leader, and I know Courtney is a sweet person. Like if somebody said to me, describe Courtney Kavaka, I'd be like, you make me laugh. Like she fills my heart, she warms me. I don't say, oh, Courtney Kavaka, yeah, her PV is, I have no idea what her PV is, and quite frankly, it's not my business, right? It's not my business. But I know she's an amazing human being, right? That's what you need to portray to people, whether it's talking about the opportunity in your lives, which you should be, and if you're not, you have to, right? Talk about how paparazzi changed your life. Talk about, it could be something as simple as like, listen, I went to the grocery store and I don't have to worry about making ends meet because I sell $5 jewelry. Take a picture of your shopping cart. It's called attraction marketing. Put it on your Facebook page. Put it on your Facebook page. You don't have to be Black Diamond with a Z necklace to advertise that. You're going to touch that mom who's going, man, I am so sick of living paycheck to paycheck. I need a change, right? I've never traveled before paparazzi. I didn't go anywhere. I was a teacher. You didn't get to go, right? If somebody was like, listen, I get to go to Dominican Republic for free, I'd be like, tell me more about that. That's something missing from my life. We don't know what's missing until we find it, right? You don't know what's missing from your life until you have it. I didn't realize how important it was to be around positive, successful, like-minded people, specifically other women. I didn't realize how much I love to explore and travel and have adventures in new places. I didn't know what I didn't have. I didn't miss it because I didn't have it. Now that I have it, I realize how crazy important it is to me. Put that out there. Put it out there. People need to know how this business has changed your life. It's not about $5 jewelry. Okay? How did you start out buying if you don't yet have the funds? Go live. You go live. You do exactly, Yoli, what I just said. You go live, go live, go live. I was going live when I was teaching sometimes every single day of the week. My scheduled lives were 2 times a week. But I would throw that camera on and show 20 pieces. Like if I had only one of them, right? Because that was back when I was starting out. If I had only one of them, I would throw down and I'd show 20 pieces. And then I'd walk away and I'd go replace my inventory. If you don't have the money, then you're telling me that you're not working your business enough. And again, you might get offended. But it is the honest truth. The honest truth. I look around and I see money all around me. I see opportunities to make money all around in this room. So if you are not making enough money to replace your inventory, then you are not going live enough. You are not putting enough albums. What are your goals? What are your goals? And yes, I'm yelling to you in the back because I get crazy passionate about this. You make it work, Wendy. That's the goal. You have to. Taxes, some charge and some don't. Why? You're crazy if you don't. You are crazy if you're not charging tax. I can't wrap my brain around it, okay? I'm going to give you a number. You ready? You ready for this? So New York City, I get charged by Paparazzi 44 cents extra on each piece. So I am paying $2.75 plus 44 cents. That's $3.19. If I don't charge tax, I am basically taking part of my profit and throwing it out the window. If I had a week right after DR where I sold 2,600, I think was the number, 2,600 pieces. So 2,600 pieces times 44 cents. Do you want to see how much money I would take and throw out the window? $1,144 if I didn't charge tax that week. Did you ever do the math? It doesn't make sense. You're being charged tax by Paparazzi. When you charge it to your customers, you are getting it back. It's neutral. You've already put it out. If you don't get it back, why wouldn't you get it back? Why wouldn't you do that? So 2,700 pieces, that's over $1,000 out of my pocket. I've already paid that to Paparazzi. So when I charge my customers, I'm getting that back. People go shop at Target, they're going to pay sales tax. They know they are, right? You go shopping at, the Gap, this clothing, I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't pay attention, to be honest. But when you go shopping, you pay sales tax, right? I can't wrap my brain around it. If you want to have a little special because it's 4th of July and you don't want to charge sales tax, that's cute. Go do you. But day-to-day business mentality. Why would you not charge tax? I don't understand it. I'm just looking through. Hey, Carla. If you don't have sales tax, you don't charge tax, Jessica. You're charging tax based on the state that you live in. So New York City's tax is 44 cents on each $5 piece. If you, like I think Delaware, right? They don't have sales tax. So you're not going to charge sales tax. People understand that. They're fine with that. You just tell your customers there's tax. That's it. So if you don't have a state where there's tax, then you wouldn't charge it because you're not being charged tax by paparazzi. Jennifer, then you just tell people that you have a new business policy. You want to throw that much money out the window, girlfriend? Listen, quality customers are quality customers. If you say, listen, I have a new business policy and I've been made aware that I should be charging sales tax, quality customers are going to stick with you. You up your shipping prices, you tell people, quality customers are going to stick with you. They're not shopping with you because of this. They're shopping with you because of you. That's the part that we don't keep in our heads, right? They're shopping with Courtney Kavaka because they love her. They love Courtney Kavaka. Does that make sense? So if you have to charge sales tax, you introduce it as a new business policy, right? Which it would be. And your quality people stay with you. Do you have to pay the state? Paparazzi is paying the state for you, Kathy. That's why they're charging you sales tax. Businesses normally have to, and I'm not a tax guru, so I don't really want to go too far down this path, but from what I've been trained, the training I've received, businesses have to pay sales tax to the state, right? Paparazzi does that for us. So if you are not getting that back from your customers, you're throwing that out the window. PayPal fees, I don't charge PayPal fees. That's a business expense. That's something that I eat because, you know, your paparazzi business is not going to be all profit. You know, you're paying for mailers, you're paying for how you know, if you give out free bling to people, like I give people in restaurants and waitresses and stuff and all around the city free jewelry all the time. There are things that are the cost of being a business owner, but sales tax is a whole different thing to me. Do you have to do their... I don't know what that means, Danielle. I'm sorry. If you're not charging sales tax, like it doesn't make sense to me. Wondering, yeah, they're like, what's up with this girl who's not charging taxes? It doesn't make sense. Add up how many pieces you sell in a month and multiply it by the sales tax. If I have a month where I sell 10, I just want to keep this real because I hear this all the time. If I sell an average of 10,000 pieces in a month, right? And that's not a hypothetical, that's a for real. And each piece, there's a 44-cent, I'm being charged 44 cents to paparazzi because they're paying it to the state for me. That is $4,000 that I've kissed away in profit. Because I didn't charge that. It's a neutral thing. You're being charged it by paparazzi. You should charge it to your customers. It neutralizes that for you. But what if you started out not charging, then it's not $5? You're paying it to paparazzi. They charge it to you on the $5. You are paying, I paid $2.75 per piece plus 44 cents. They're charging you the tax on the retail number. The retail, okay? Because they're sending it to the state for you. Hi, Daisy. Oh, thank you. No, Karen, you simply Google it. Sales tax in my state. You charge it based on your state. Every single person that buys from me gets charged $5.44, even if they live in Delaware where they have no sales tax. And I had somebody one time try to argue that with me, but it's not how it works. If you buy from me, you are paying $5.44. So you live in Pennsylvania. Most of my team is there, Pam. I think it's like 30, it would be 30 cents if it's 6%. So your pieces are $5.30 to every single person that buys from you, no matter where they live. Period. I hope that makes sense. Courtney, I know I went down a totally different path, but if you want to make money, if you are a business mindset CEO, then these are things that are imperative. If I have a month where I sell 10,000 pieces, which is my normal, right? My normal, and I don't charge sales tax, I have kissed away $4,400. Did you hear me? Hello? Over $4,000 if I don't charge sales tax. Let's keep it smaller scale. Let's say, for example, you sell 50 pieces a week. You sell 200 pieces a week, and you're me, and you live in New York City. That is $88. Now, for some of you, $88 is making a bill. $88 is more inventory. $88 might be what you have to pay for your kids' gymnastics, right? Are you following me? Receipts are for income taxes. I am not even touching that. I'm not even touching that. I am not an accountant. I can only talk to you about this part because I've received training on it. I'm not touching income taxes. That's a whole different ball game. Not even going to go there. You charge based on your state. Hear me. You don't need to ask me questions on this. This is New York City. Every single person that buys from me, if they live in Kentucky, Alabama, California, it doesn't matter where they live. Doesn't matter where they live. They're being charged $5.44 from me. Period. Nobody questions it. Nobody argues with me because they're shopping from me because they're shopping from me. Therefore, they respect my business policies. If you go to Gotham City Bling by Heidi on Facebook, and you can go there, it's not to shop, but if you want to go see my setup, on the home page, there's a list of this is how I do things. And it's basically like, if you don't like it, like that's it. Like I keep it very real. I'm amazing with my customers, but my business policies are my business policies because I am the CEO of my company. Does this make sense? Okay. We have to stop worrying so much about, oh no, well, I hope that they're not get upset. Your quality customers aren't going to care about paying 30 cents. Listen to what you're saying. Okay? Your quality customers are not going to care about paying 30 cents. You're giving them gorgeous pieces and you're giving yourself to them, right? 30 cents? If they're worried about 30 cents, and if they're worried for me, if they can't pay that 44-cent sales tax for that gorgeous pair of earrings, I need quality customers. I need customers that are going to respect my business. I need customers that are going to pay on time, because if you don't pay on time, you get canceled, you get blocked. That's it. Like, I am very tight, and that's part of being successful, is having these policies in place, right? A way to tell them, Bridget, is simply, I have a new business policy. Starting today, effective immediately, I'm charging sales tax. Done. It's done. Courtney, if there's anything you want me to touch on, because I'm getting like all kind of like, I'm getting hot. Goal setting, having the mindset of a CEO, good business practices will make you more successful, right? I'm not answering any income tax questions, okay? Paparazzi is sending sales tax to your state because of your purchases, period. I'm not answering any more. I'm not answering income tax questions because, quite frankly, that's one of those things that I get like my own levels of anxiety about. Smart. It's so funny you said SMART goals, because I was actually going to talk to my team about that today. Do you charge for shipping? I charge for 1 to 4 items. I charge $3.50. Sometimes I eat some price and some cost. That's, you know, the cost of doing business, and my customers respect that. If they buy 5 or more items, I ship for free. And I say, because my sales tax is higher than a lot of places, buying 5 or more items, I ship for free. Okay, and that's a courtesy that I'm able to do because of the level that I'm at, and it's, you know, I eat a little bit of money from time to time, but it's something I'm able to do for my customers. Do I recommend you doing that right away? Well, maybe if you're having a sale, like some kind of a special, but I invoice twice a week, and I do not combine invoices. So I don't. And there's some people that buy 2 items and then get charged the $3.50, and then the next you know, the next time I invoice, they buy 2 more items, and I don't combine invoices. I don't have time for all of that. Okay. So realistic, yes. So your goals need to be measurable goals. So if you're saying, you know, I'd really like to reach Life of the Party gold by convention, which gold should be everybody's goal. Okay. The perks change at gold. Bronze and silver are fine, but the perks change immensely at gold. First, the biggest thing is that double hostess reward. So if you are pushing Life of the Party, gold is your goal. Okay, I tell my team that. Like, bronze and silver are stepping stones to gold. So let's say gold is your goal by convention. You can just say that. Oh, gold is my goal. Okay, but what are you going to do to get there? Okay, you need to look at what your PV is. You need to look at what's required to hit gold, and you need to crunch some numbers so that you can say, okay, if I want to hit gold, then that means that every single day between now and convention, I need to buy whatever. When we were pushing to be a fashionista team last month, I couldn't just say, boy, I really want to be a fashionista team. I had to have realistic, smart goals. I had to be able to measure them with a timeline, right? I needed to constantly look at the numbers, and move my team forward with challenges and incentives, right? So go live more often and rank up. Those, to me, you've got to tighten that. So go live more often, what does that mean? How many times a week? It has to be specific. Because that way, if Courtney said to me, hey Heidi, I'm going to go live more often, I would say to her, okay, so what does that mean? Tell me what days you're going live. Tell me for how long you're going live. Because then, if it's measurable and attainable, then I could say to her in 2 weeks, hey, you told me you were going to go live Mondays and Wednesdays, Courtney. Did you go Monday and Wednesday? Yes. What time did you go on? 8 o'clock. How long were it has to be this attainable thing. If you're saying rank up to what, by when, and how are you doing it? Does this make sense? Right? So last month, beginning of the month, I was like, and we are ranking to fashionista, and it will happen this month. The numbers for fashionista are 75,000 for the team. I knew what I needed to do. I looked at my, my top sales. I looked at my people that weren't active. I was strategic about what I did and how I did it and how I move my team, right? If I'm looking at my sales, my goal is at least 1,000 pieces a week. If I look at my sales and I'm like, ooh, I only have 2 days left in the week and I've only sold 600. What do I need to do? Okay. I need to go live. I need to throw the camera on. Okay. So if your goal is to sell 100 pieces a week during your lives, are you buying more inventory? Are you putting sets together? Right? I am, Misty Kirby, I feel the same way. She said this the other day. I forget where she said it. If it was a winner's circle, I forget. It doesn't matter. But she said, don't tell me, show me. Don't tell me, show me. Don't tell me you want to hit elite. Show me what you're doing to achieve the numbers. If somebody had said to me last month while I was looking to hit fashionista, what's your PV today? I would have known it like this. What's your PV right now? I would have known it like this. How many on your team are active? I could have told you like this, because my goal, it was always in my mind. It was always here so that I could constantly be putting myself in check and checking on my team. Does that make sense? It has to be there. Okay? I get passionate because this company, this business can change your life if you are smart about it, if you're approaching it like a CEO, if you are approaching it like a business and not a hobby. You have to decide, though. You have to decide what is it that you want from this thing, right? And I keep it real. And you might be, my team sometimes like, and I'm like, okay, try what I'm saying and then let me know if it works, right? So some of these things that may go against the grain or they might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, try them. Try them. Advice on recruiting, I already touched on that. Daisy, I touched on that already. Like I talked about that for a little while. So maybe if you didn't catch it from the beginning, go back and watch, because I did touch on recruiting quite a bit. Okay, Courtney, if there's anything else, you know, try the things I'm saying. Do something each day that scares you. I love that. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, then do it. Then do it if it makes you feel uncomfortable, right? Oh, I am the truth. Thank you, Rose. I throw it like, and my team knows, like, I keep it real. Because you have to. This is too important. You have the opportunity to change lives, your own life, people around you, people on your team, people that are watching. You have an opportunity to be a life changer. Think about that, okay? So the last thing that I'm going to say, is, yeah, that's actually what I'm going to talk about. Good. Okay, especially on ordering. Good. You feel free to follow me on Facebook. Please do not send me friend requests. I get so many. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I speak to you with love and passion and keeping it real and knowing that if you have a dream in this company, you can do it. You can do it. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Get out of your comfort zone. Push yourself. What's your limit? What are you going to do? Right? Oh, you're all so sweet. I know you watch me, girl. Hi, Christy. You can follow me on Facebook. Please don't send me a friend request. I get a lot of them. I will say this, I am live Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I invite you to come and watch with a notebook and learn and take notes. You don't have to, I'm not inviting you to come and shop. Okay, I'm not inviting you to come and shop. I'm inviting you to come and learn. I will say this though, only because it's happened to me. If you come to my lives, please do not hit up my customers. I've worked really hard to build up my customer base. Please respect me and respect my business. You're very, very welcome. Oh my gosh, you're very welcome. Please come in, respect what I'm doing, respect my business. Please don't hit up my customers, like even in a private message. It's happened to me. Please don't come onto my show and say, oh, Heidi, you sold out of that ring. I'm a consultant. I have it. Okay? Okay? Please don't do that. Please come to my show and respect the work that I'm doing and respect that I'm totally cool with consultants coming and watching and learning. Please don't claim a bunch of things and then not pay. I had that happen. So I'm just putting that out there because it's important to me. I started at the beginning of July. Go back and watch if you are just hopping on, because I did touch on a whole bunch of this stuff. Beginning of July 2017. Yeah. So please, please feel free to follow me. Please, if you come to my live to learn, please respect what I'm doing. Do not, I will lose my ever loving mind if somebody comes on and tries to sell on my show, poach my customers, please. Okay. And I know Courtney would like have a heart attack. Okay. So I've talked to you for quite some time. Hopefully you walked away with some tidbits. Hopefully you walk away with knowing that like there's a passion to this, there's a love for this, there's a drive for this. So do your thing. Do your thing. Yep, I know you do, and I appreciate that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get going. I shouldn't have to say that. I know, but it does happen. I go live right now on my personal page, but I've been building up my business page like crazy, so I'm considering moving over. Yeah, do not come poaching on my thing. You're welcome, Courtney. You're welcome, honey, and we'll see you later. All right. So, Team Bling Boss, love from New York City. Keep doing your thing. Get real, get passionate, love what you're doing, set your goals, and know your own worth, baby. Hashtag no excuses. Hashtag know your worth and go and do it. All right. You're awesome. Have a beautiful Thursday. Hopefully it gets warm soon, right? Bye.